Welcome back, Troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a beautiful white Les Paul Studio that holds a secret. In a world filled with too many guitar models, pushy, overpriced dealers, and not enough free public information, one man will tell you all. White Gibsons get ebony fretboards even after the 90s, until the federal government raids around 2011. Yes, it's true. This guitar doesn't have like a secret inside of it. We don't have to break it open. The secret is right in plain sight. Ebony fretboard. You might be asking yourself, hey, that must be a 90s studio, because 90s studios are so well known for having ebony fretboards. No. While that might be true, this is not a 90s model. This is something so many people don't realize. White Gibsons would traditionally get these ebony fretboards, even after the 90s. Now, not every single white Gibson got it, but Gibson liked to put these ebony boards on the white ones because, well, it looks better than rosewood. Now, this stopped around the same time as the whole federal raid, around 2011, if I'm remembering correctly. Because that's when the government came and seized a bunch of wood, and they made it really difficult for Gibson to properly source this type of wood because they're a large corporation. I don't fully understand the wood laws myself, but that's just kind of the gist of it. So now that you know the secret, take a look at some of the other models that you might have wanted to check out. Like maybe you secretly love the reverse flying V. Go check out my old review of that white one. Ebony fretboard. Go check out one of the boring natural ones and oh, no ebony fretboard. If you haven't played a reverse flying V, you have not done yourself justice. They look goofy as all get out, but they're actually surprisingly comfortable and have a great tone. So, on to this one. This is just the perfect working musician's guitar. Because A, it's beautiful. There's something about white studios, especially when they have the ebony fretboards, they just feel way more high-end than they actually are. And this one has served its purpose. It has a number of upgrades. This originally would have came with a 490R in the neck and a 498T. The 498T is still there, but the neck pickup has been replaced with what appears to be a 57 Classic or something very similar. Another player's upgrade is locking Kluson style tuners. I've never liked the look of these things because they're kind of bulky and stick out a bit much, but hey, locking tuners are locking tuners and it still looks good from the front, so that's all that matters for me. The last modification is kind of a boneheaded move. It's the result of somebody not having the right parts. Clearly this pick guard was taken off, and this might actually be a replaced guard itself, but when they went to reinstall it, they've got the correct bracket on it, but instead of having a proper screw, they just used a regular one, and they kind of drilled it into the top. Not a lot, but it's in there, so this is a pick guard on example only, unless you can live with a screw hole underneath there if you take this off. But the specs of this one, you've got a maple top with a mahogany back and a mahogany neck, and once again, beautiful ebony fretboard. It's got a 60s rounded neck profile to it. What that means is it's not quite what I would consider a medium profiled neck. It's still slender, but it's very round, almost into the medium territory. This is kind of like that perfect in-between neck that most people would enjoy. It's still pretty hefty too, around 9.5 pounds. I definitely highly suggest checking out one of these Les Paul Studios if you want something really nice, but you don't want something with binding. That's the major difference between a studio and a standard. You will pay a slight premium for the white finish though, especially when they've got the nice ebony boards. Now that we've learned this guitar's secret, let's go ahead and hear how it sounds. Now that we know how this guitar sounds, let's go ahead and review its condition. This was a player's guitar. It's got quite a bit of wear and tear to go over here. Lots of very fine scratches on the face of the headstock from string changes. Again, the tuners have been replaced with locking ones, so that's an awesome upgrade. You've got a fully functioning truss rod yet, and you do still have the original nut. You can see the original lacquer on this side, but the other side it appears to have chipped off. The frets do show some very minor wear, but I'm guessing they were worked on not too long ago to make them look as good as they do, because this thing has definitely seen some road time. Being a white gloss finish, it hides all these scratches and dings pretty well, but here you can see that there is some of that going on. But overall, I would say this guitar maintains a pretty clean appearance. Sometimes this is really noticeable and sometimes it's not. What that's caused by is somebody might have had a red shirt on. Sometimes just absorbing sweat in that area will change its colors. It could be that a guy liked to wear a red jacket. I mean, this is definitely caused by rubbing, because as you zoom up here, you can see the finish has been worn away and you can kind of just see that maple cap exposed. And that's pretty evident around this whole guitar, especially like in this area right here. It's just along the edges. It's what I consider honest play wear. I don't really mind it on this one. There's something nice about a well played in studio. I mean, this one's got a nice glossy finish to it, so it definitely does feel higher end than it is. Now I will say these discolored spots right here show up a lot better on the camera. You don't really see them as badly in person. But what that is there was probably some stickers on this guitar at one point in time. As the white finish ages, those areas do not. But you've got some buckle rash and worming marks all over this guitar. Nothing that really destroys the finish though. You've got your original Gibson pots in here as well. You've got a small area of wear to the finish kind of at the heel right there. And the neck does have a few light dings, like there's a very small one right there. And you do have some wear to the clear coat. The Blacklight Test will definitely show us this better, but you can see it's just barely gotten through to the wood in this area. But for the most part, the neck is clean. It won't really give you any problems playability wise. Serial number 00145483, so that makes it a really early 2005, 14th day of the year. And along the edges here, you have what is known as stand rash. That means this thing hung up on a guitar stand, and it wasn't safe for the nitro finish, so it turned it colors. This side you've got yellow. It looks like somebody used some blue pen to color that part in a little bit. And then you've just got the yellow on this side. You also have some dings through the finish along the top of the headstock. That's usually because somebody would rest it against like a brick wall or something. Thankfully there are no breaks, cracks, or repairs, but let's go ahead and prove that with a blacklight test. Feels good to have a guitar that glows again. It's been a while. Everything's looking good on this guitar. You can see on the face it's good, and this once again confirms my theory of a bunch of sweat buildup right here because it glows additionally. I'll take a look around the edges here. Once again, everything is in good shape. No major surprises here. Back of the guitar, once again you can see those discolored areas we were talking about earlier, but no foul play there. And here we can see a little bit more of hidden stand rash that doesn't necessarily show up under normal lighting, but no breaks, cracks, or repairs to the headstock. Everything is looking good on this one. One thing I did miss though is there is a very small ding right here by the G in the Gibson. I missed that when I was doing the initial look over. That's why this blacklight test is great. It helps you see everything. Here's another good gigging trade secret. Don't advertise what guitar you're carrying around by having a Gibson case. Get something cheap like an Epiphone case like this one has. So somebody was definitely trying not to get their guitar stolen with this case. But something that a lot of people don't know is some of these Epiphone cases are just as good as the Gibson branded ones. There's usually a few very small minor differences to them. Like this one, it's more of a flat top instead of arched like the Gibson version. But the inside is very similar. You've got the same heel support. This one only has a single neck rest instead of the double neck rest. But besides that, it really is just about the same case. It's even made by the same people, TKL. So this really is a fantastic case. And personally, I kind of like this Epiphone logo. It kind of looks like a pitchfork. If you think you might be interested in being the next owner of this gorgeous white Les Paul Studio, check out the link in the description to get you to the Reverb ad. Thank you for watching, Troglodytes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with a friend who you think would enjoy it, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.